So, welcome to our lecture series. Uh, Today, we are going to be discuss about functions of cost accountant. Functions of cost accountant. They are classified into two categories. One is traditional functions, and second one is modern functions. So, what are the traditional functions performed by the cost accountant? So here, establishment of various cost centers in the organization. For example, if it is a manufacturing organization, it is required to establish various cost centers like crushing, refining, filtering, packaging. So these are the various cost centers they have to establish, right? And second traditional function of cost accountant is to ascertain the cost of every product or the job what we are engaging or the process or with what we are with what we are dealing, both in terms of total and per unit of product, right? So what is the total cost we are incurring in terms of material, in terms of labor, in terms of other overhead expenses, right? That year we have to calculate in terms of total what is the total cost, and then in addition to that, this total cost divided by dividing the total cost what we are incurred divided by the number of units produced, then we will get the per unit of the product. So per unit of the product also here we have to compute. It is also a responsibility of the cost accountant. In addition to this, design of a suitable system for defining the responsibilities and controlling of cost. Defining the responsibilities here it represent at each cost center who is the responsible person, appointment of concerned worker, and what are the ways and means that are available for controlling the material cost, for controlling the labor cost, and other overheads, right? It is also a responsibility of the cost account. And in addition to that, those people who are fixing the selling price of the product for such kind for such a people, generally they will be in the top level management. They will take the decisions, right? And for such category for such people, cost accountant has to provide the total cost of the product, right? He has to provide information related to what is the prime cost he is spending, and what about the uh, factory cost to spend by him, what about the cost of production, cost of goods sold, cost of sales, and total cost information he has to supply. And by that, those people who are responsible for fixing the price, so they may easily fix the selling price of the product. Now you come to that next function. In addition to all these functions, this cost accountant has to prepare the reports on so how wastage of material is happening, what are the reasons of it, that is reports on wastage of material, loss on labor time. Sometimes what will happen, less shortage of some material, or power failures, all right, maybe due to some other reason, loss of labor time it will happen, right? And ideal capacity of mission so as to improve the profitability of the business. So this cost accountant, to summarize this function, cost accountant has to prepare reports on material, reports on loss of labor time, and ideal capacity of machineries he has to prepare, right? And that information he has to supply for the top level people for decision making purpose. And implementation of budgetary control, standard costing techniques, it is also a responsibility of cost accountant. We are all aware of that. As a part of controlling the cost, in case of standard costing, they are fixing the standard material cost, they're fixing the standard labor cost, standard overheads they will fix, right? Then what are the actual costs they are spending? These actuals they are comparing with the standards. And finally, They will identify what are the variances, what are the various reasons for happening of these variances, differences, identification of it, minimization of it. It is also a responsibility of the cost accountant. And in order to run the production function smoothly and to assist the management in decision making and also in formulating the policies, the cost accountant has to prepare schedules. So what different kinds of, whenever they are processing different kinds of product at different work centers or workstations, what kind of material they require, which product they have to process, right? Okay, that all master production schedule, also preparation of master production schedule, cost schedule, it is also responsibility of him, right? Then next you come to this, in addition to this formulation of cost schedule, this cost accountant, he has to design suitable forms for organizing an effective system of reporting, by which okay, it is going to be provide cost data to all levels of the management. That all levels of management, we are all aware of that. Top level people, they require this cost data for fixation of selling price, or to drop any product from our product line, or to add any new product to our product line, right? Or for increasing the plant capacity. So all these effective systems of reporting, these they are going to be provide help all the top level of management designing that effective system of reporting. Also, it is also a responsibility of the cost accountant, right? Sorry. While we are evaluating the closing stock of raw material or work in progress, right? So here, value at the time of valuation of closing stock, at the time of valuation of work in progress, this cost accountant, he has to help the management and he has to give the updated information to the management people. By that, so here what will happen? So that people, they will invest optimum amount of their investment in inventory. For example, sometimes if a cost accountant is not provided okay, proper valuation of closing stock, and if he not provided information or cost of work in progress, sometimes they feel okay, they may spend excessive amount in their inventory. Spending excessive amount inventory, uh, it leads to the shortage of capital somewhere wherever it is required. Sometimes if they spend less amount, maybe that organization, they may suffer from lack of material, shortage of material. It is going to happen, right? Over investment in inventory or less investment in inventory, both are not preferable. Optimum, okay, investment are so okay. What is the optimum amount they required for purchasing the raw material, either in the form of raw material or for work in progress? Optimally, they have to invest. And for that purpose, we are all aware of that. They may go for so many in order to optimum investment, in order to estimate the optimum investment inventory. Many inventory controlling techniques, it must be adopted by the cost accountant, like economic order quantity, or always best control ABC analysis, or VED analysis, values, essential, desirables, okay, analysis, or maybe HML analysis, high quality material, medium quality material, low quality material, or sometimes XYZ analysis. All these analysis, okay, this helps the cost accountant to estimate what is the optimum amount of investment the management has to go to invest in that inventory, right? And in addition to that, this manager cost accountant has to prepare periodical cost statements whenever they are required. He has to prepare either for the weekly basis, for fortnight, or monthly, or he may go for the, right. So here he may go for this is okay, right? For example, uh, whatever the time period they are specified by their management, according to their requirement, according to the requirement of the uh, according to the requirement of various levels of management. So they has to prepare either weekly or for 15 days, for every 15 days or monthly. Whenever they are required, he has to prepare the periodical statement, and finally he has to ascertain the cost profit. Right. And this is all about traditional functions of cost accounting. All these they comes under the category of traditional functions of cost accounting. Right. So in addition to that, what are the additional functions he has to perform? This cost accountant, what are the additional functions he has to perform? Right? All that additional functions he has, which he has to perform, they are included under modern functions, right? So as I told to you, the cost accountant functions, they are classified into two categories. One is traditional functions, second one is modern functions. Under modern functions, supervising the functions of mechanized accounting, right? So here, this is also a modern function of cost accountant. And organization of internal audit in the field of accounting, right? So organization of internal, what do you mean by audit means verification of our either our cost accounting records or financial accounting records, right? Here whether we are preparing the journal ledger, right? Whatever the sales book you are maintaining, whatever the purchase book you are maintaining, whether they are up to the standards or not. And what about the various financial accounting records which you are maintaining? Or what about these cost accounting records, whether they are maintained as per the instruction given by him or not? So that we have to do, okay, that also conducting of internal audit in the field of accounting, it is also responsibility of cost accountant, right? And to work in close coordination with the various department managers. So these cost accountant, you must have close relation with stores manager. You must have close relation with purchase management, finance department, and quality control department. Why? Because all these departments, they have to coordinate in order to purchase. So okay, in order to purchase best quality product with the lowest possible price. And whenever he is coordinating, okay, suppose if he is in touch, suppose if he has coordinating, if he is properly coordinated with production department. So here, my dear student, what will happen? You are aware of that. So whenever he has good relation with these purchase department people or production department people, especially with production, whatever their requirement of material, what are the various requirements of material they are required for their production process, we may know, right? As a cost accountant, he may know and he will get the required quality of material. And the same he may intimate to the cost accountants, he may intimate to the purchase department people what are the different qualities of material, like A grade material, B grade material, C grade material, how much amount they have to invest, all that he will get that information, right? So to work in close coordination with various department, that is purchase department people, production department, finance department, quality control department, and by that, okay, we may implement the cost reduction programs and methods of improvement effectively when this cost accountant, if he has good relation with all other departments, right? Now you come to the next area, that is undertake this cost accountant, he has to undertake various cost audit programs as per the directions issued by the government and the provisions of Indian Companies Act 1956, right? Of course, in 2013 it is amended, right? So as per that Indian Companies Act, as per the direction of the government, right? Or in the instructions, guidelines formulated by the ICWAI, right? So as per the directions, we have to prepare the all cost accounting records. All these are the various modern functions of cost accountant, right? So this is all about various traditional and modern functions of cost accountant. Okay. So with that, we have finished. What do you mean? What are the various functions of cost accountant? Now you come to our topic. What are the objectives of cost accounting? Right. So these are the various objectives of cost accounting: determining the selling price, controlling the cost, providing the information for decision making, ascertaining the costing profit, facilitating the preparation of financial and other statement. All these are the various objectives of cost accounting. So what about the first and foremost among all the functions of cost accounting? The first and foremost function is determining the selling price, right? The objective of determining cost of products is of main importance in cost accounting. The total product cost and cost per unit of product are important in deciding the selling price of the product. We are all aware of that. This cost accounting provides information regarding the how much cost to make and to sell the products or services. For example, if you want to know the total cost of the product, first we have to estimate what is the raw material consumed and what about the direct expenses. And so by adding all these direct expense and direct wages, we came to know about the prime cost. And for the prime cost, by adding all factory overheads, we may get the gross production, gross factory cost. And for this gross factory works cost, gross factory work cost, we have to add opening stock of work in progress and closing stock of work in progress. We have to adjust for it, and finally we'll get the net factory cost, right? Or simply factory cost. And for this factory cost, here we have to add all the all for all these okay, networks cost what you are obtained, and for that here we have to add all office and administration overheads. Then we will get the cost of production. And for the cost of production, by adjusting this opening okay finished goods and closing finished goods, by adjusting that we may came to know about the what cost of sales cost. Okay, we may get the cost of goods sold, we'll get it, sorry, cost of goods sold, we'll get it. For this cost of goods sold, by adding selling and distribution overhead expenses, here we may get the cost of sales, right? So the total cost of the product, the cost per unit of the product, that okay, once we know, and for that by adding some profit margin, we may fix the selling price of the product. This is about the determining the selling price. In what way this cost accounting it is going to help? That is another objective of cost accounting is controlling the cost. This cost accounting helps in attaining aim of controlling the cost by using various techniques like budgetary control. As I told you previously, it is also one of the traditional function of cost accountant. Either in case of budgetary control or standard costing, here we will take the some estimated or benchmarking standards we will take, and these actuals we are going to be compared with that estimates or standards. For example, you take the case of material. If you want to calculate material variance, right? So here what is the standard cost of material we are spending, whatever the actual cost of material we are spending. By comparing this actual cost of material with the standards, here we came to know that whatever the variance in material. Of course, for calculating the total material, various types of material variances, we may use material cost variance, material price variance, material mix variance, material yield variance. Of course, these are the sub calculations what you have to do in order to know the what about the variance, why it is happened, what are the reasons it, and in order to avoid these variances, what are the ways that are available, that we will go, right? This budgetary control, standard costing, and inventory control techniques like ABC analysis, economic order quantity, VED analysis, HML analysis. So all these, okay, here we are using, right? All these are the different things they are available for controlling the cost, right? Each item of cost, okay, here we are going to be compare the bigger, okay, we are at the beginning, we are at the beginning of the period, we are fixing the some standard. This, okay, here we are going to be compare with the, this finally we are going to be ultimately, we are compare with the actuals, right? These budgeted standards, budgeted values or standard values. Here we are going to be compare with the actuals, and finally we came to know that what will happen. Finally, here we'll get about the what is the variances and why this. Okay, sometimes maybe material we are spending more, sometimes material we may spend less. All that we can easily compare and we can easily get it. And finally, we came to know about what are the ways that are available to reduce such adverse expenses, whatever you're spending, right? And when you are have gone for controlling this controlling of cost, it leads to the increasing the efficiency of the enterprise. Now you come to the another objective of cost accounting is providing information for decision making. Cost accounting helps the management in providing information for managerial decisions for the top level people for formulating the operating policies. What are the operating policies? It is for formulation of aggregate production, aggregate planning, or for preparation of master production schedule, or to prepare various budgetary control techniques, right? To prepare various means and ways are available for standard cost, for for installation of standard costing system in the concerned organization, either to add any new product to their product line, or either they may go for expansion of their plant capacity. For all these things are there helpful, right? This the policies they generally whatever the top level management, when this cost accountant will, as I told you, as a part of traditional functions of the cost accountant, he has to provide the information. Based on the information, top level people are those people who are responsible for decision making. These are the policies generally they will take. First one is in determination of cost volume profit analysis. What does it mean? So of course, in short, we may call it as a CVP analysis. At a given price, if we sold that, at a given price of the product, or to achieve a desired level of profit, how many units we have to sell, right? So what is how much price we have to fix to achieve your targeted sales, right? And so, here, what is the relationship between this profit volume ratio, right? What about the contribution of the organization? So, in order to know that, this CVP analysis is going to be help, right? So, for calculating margin of safety, for calculating PV ratio, correct? For a given volume of output, what is the profit here we are going to be? In order to know that, the CVP analysis is more helpful. And sometimes there's top level people, they are in a dilemma whether they have to produce the loose tools or small parts, whatever the small spare parts they require, whether they have to produce in the organization or they may go for buy. For example, in order to, when they are producing a spare part in the organization, they are spending almost all 10 rupees for material, 5 rupees for labor, 3 rupees for overhead expenses, another 2 rupees for other expenses. Almost all they are spending 20 rupees if they are producing. Okay, and in addition to that, some fixed expense, another 5 rupees of fixed expense they are spending. Altogether 25 rupees they are spend, they have to spend if they want to produce the product. At the same time, the same quality product, same substituted loose tool, if it is available in the market for example, 22 rupees, then the manager they are in dilemma whether they have to manufacture the product or they have to go for it, right? When they are purchased from outside, here the selling price is 22 plus these fixed expenses anyhow, whether they are produced or not, fixed expenses are, it is common. Either it is 5 rupees or 10 rupees, whatever you're spending, that again we are add to the MRP, which is going to exceed our manufacturing cost. Under that circumstances, it is better to manufacture in our organization, right? And sometimes they will go for the shutdown of the company or discontinue their operation or continue the operation, which some of the product, from some of the product they're yielding less contribution, right? So these are things that are happening. Some of the policies related to shutdown or continue our operation at a loss. And sometimes, whether they have to continue their production with the existing machinery or they have to go for replacing the machinery, which they is going to be provide some economical benefit for them. They may think another way. This is about the providing information for decision making. Now, another objective of cost accounting is ascertaining the costing profit. Right, this cost accounting generally it helps the in ascertaining the costing profit or loss of any activity on an objective basis by matching the cost with the revenue of the activity. What is the total cost we are spending? Whatever the source of total revenue. Revenue, what do you mean by revenue? The revenue is equal to number of units sold into selling price. By multiplying that, here we may get the total revenue, and that revenue here we are going to be compared with our total cost what we spent, and based on that, so top level people they will take the go for decision. And final objective of cost accounting is facilitating preparation of financial and other statements, right? This is another objective of cost accounting. This cost accounting, it is going to help to produce statements at short intervals as the management may require, as and when they require. This cost accountant has to prepare the report, and that report he has to submit. The financial statements are prepared generally once a year or half yearly to meet the needs of the management. In order to operate the business at high efficiency, it is essential for all the management to have a review of the production or sales and operating results. So this is all about the various objectives of cost accounting. Right. Thank you.